Okay, perfect. We're good. Well, I just want to thank everyone who's coming on today and also who will be watching this later. We're talking about smart habits for healthy digestion and immunity. And you'll notice that both Megan and I will kind of play off each other. We have our own little slides that we're going to talk about. And if we could just ask that any questions be held to the end, that way it makes it go through easier, and hopefully we answer the questions as we go anyway. So welcome. So what are our stories? Well, for me, especially this whole Young Living journey has been uh, around so many different things that have happened in our life, with regards to whether it be fertility, whether it be colds and flus, whether it be digestive issues, you name it, it's hit our house at one point or another. And I find actually this heads in the sand is a very good analogy for me anyway, and maybe for a few others, maybe that might be joining us, is that a lot of times, we go through life and we don't really see anything going on wrong, until something does, until something actually happens that we can't, we're not feeling well, or, our energy is just so low, our digestive system is unhappy, whatever that might be. And eventually, through our journey, we eventually get shown a product or two or three or four, whatever that might be, from Young Living. And it really just makes such a difference in our lives. And whether it be from, again, just really helping with that issue, and or just providing that knowledge and that information and that support from our Young Living family, which is called the Blue Spruce Club. And so for me, when I start to think about, my journey through all the things that have happened over the last 6 to 7 years, there's just been so many different products and different situations that have created just so much health in our life. So that's kind of where my story is with regards to this, and I'm just so grateful to be sharing. Megan, I don't know if you want to share a quick story about your journey.
Yeah, I mean, this presentation sort of is the all-encompassing of my start to Young Living for sure. I started Young Living using the products when I was just newly diagnosed with ulcerative colitis and really struggling with medications I was using, and the whole process of pain management and nausea and all of the other lovely things that come along with ulcerative colitis. So it really was a 100% turnaround in my life, from going from, who cares what kind of cleaner I use in my house? Who cares what kind of soap I use on my laundry? To why am I taking this medication? So it kind of like, it was a whole journey that took probably a good 2 years to really sort of change my lifestyle from one to the other. But learning all about all kinds of different products and stuff that Young Living had to offer, which was really, really great for our family.
That's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of people are probably, that will be listening to this, might be on that same journey as yourself and myself, right? Different but similar, right?
Yeah.
And just might need to hear that they're not alone, right? That, there
Yeah.
are things that can help, and whatever that issue may be. And it might be a tiered approach. Like you said, it's not just, one thing, it's quite
Exactly.
a multitude of different things. And we'll probably be talking a little bit about that right now.
Yeah. And you don't have to do it all tomorrow.
This is it.
And some of it is trial and error. This worked great. This didn't work so great. This worked great. This didn't work so great. Very similar to any other process that you would go through with your health, for sure.
Absolutely. The 100% actually. All right. So, so we have our wellness, purpose, and abundance. So I'm actually going to see, I noticed that the slide is, I'm actually going to just change here for a second to how the slide's going to show. Sorry. because I notice it's going to show differently. So, oh, I apologize. And then I'm going to share like this. Okay. That's hopefully still the full screen for you guys.
Yep, it is now.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so for wellness, purpose, and abundance, that's really actually Young Living essential oils. This is actually where we're at, you know, with regards to why do they have products, what is their purpose, and that we can also share abundance with our family and our community. So for me, I find Young Living from a wellness perspective, they, as we just said, they have, I mean, I think in print, they put over 600 products. But I know when I go to the office and go to the warehouse and you talk to the people there, they actually have well over 1,200 products. And these products actually, interestingly enough, if customers are still ordering products, because Young Living's been around over 25 years, right? So if someone is still ordering the product, they actually keep that in stock just for those people, which is absolutely amazing. I don't know a single company that would go out of their way to do that. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I do love Young Living so much, is for their wellness products and also how they make me feel. And from a purpose perspective, I think for me, the reason why not only do I share this is that is the reason why, is that this information needs to get out. And unfortunately, you know, the powers that be, and I'll just use it like that, they don't like this type of information getting out, that there is other products other than, you know, that can either complement or even start with. You can start with these to maybe not have to go the medication route. And I'm not saying don't replace them. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that, you know, there are other ways of helping your body, and maybe this is one of them, right? So anyways, from there, we have our seed to seal. And this is actually literally what stands apart, makes Young Living so special, is that we're authentic, that we are pure. And because we are authentic and pure, and we actually own our farms and distillers, that the potency, which means how effective these products are, not just the essential oils, but all the other products we have, because all our products are infused with our essential oils are. So we really stand, I mean, we have a seed to seal process. That is our process. You know, a lot of people ask that. Yes, absolutely it is Young Living's process. But we also have third-party testing that also show the same things as we do about the purity of our oils. And this is actually something that I really want to stress upon, because there's a lot of information out like on Google, which is not always, Google for me is not always telling the truth, because a 5-year-old can have a website and put whatever they want to put on it, and it doesn't even have to be true. And so for me, when I did my research, it took me 4 months to actually get down to the truth. And now I've actually been to almost 7 or 8 of the global farms around the world. And I can tell you 100% that they, you know, the essential oils, they go so far beyond organic. They go so far beyond just the general everyday stuff, where, you know, most companies actually have, you know, they do spray for weeds and things like that. Whereas we actually hand pick for weeds, which is amazing, like in the respect of just the manpower alone. And also we've also used our essential oils. Like, so our essential oils we use on our crops as well. So the seed to seal process is literally a commitment. So that's actually what I want people to know about seed to seal, is a quality commitment from Young Living to say, we understand that if there are impurities in the oils, they will not work effectively. Essential oils do not like chemicals. And so that's why we use steam distillation. That's why we use cold pressing of the rinds for the citrus oils. And that's why it's so important to have these farms around the world, because you can't grow things like, as you see on the right, our frankincense tree in, say, Canada, like, or in the States, on our lavender farm. They need different soils. They need different climatic conditions. So we actually go and buy farms where the crop originates from, And we work with the locals, we work with the government, and we train them on how to harvest, how to distill. We actually have a distillery in a lot of the different countries, like Oman as an example, or like in France, or obviously in the States, or even in our home country in Canada, up in northern BC, where we have our Northern Lights Black Spruce Farm. So there's so many different things that Young Living takes into consideration. And the whole reason why they take that into consideration is for you as the user. It's no benefit and no financial gain to them to weed everything by hand. It actually costs, I should pull the numbers. It's like 10 or 20 times more than any other company because they don't have the farms. You know, they don't weed by hand. They actually weed with chemicals. And so there's a lot of different things that go into our whole seed to seal process.
The other thing, Christina, that is, sorry to interrupt, the other thing that's great that I love about this piece is that they're actually doing sustainable farming as well. So they are, in traditional farming, you would call them bumper crops. So they are planting different crops within the same farm that help not only to encourage soil growth and nutrition back into the soil, but they also help with the whole pest control issue, with the weed issue, by pairing different plants together that sort of work together as sort of one sort of symbiotic universe in their own little planting world. And it's, to me, that is awesome, because you don't see that in conventional farming very often.
Almost never, actually.
Yeah.
No, you hit the nail on the head there, 100%. And that's what, again, they're known for that. They're known for trying to find new or innovative ways on how to control things, because it is, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of these crops. And so, you know, how do we do this without adding chemicals? So there's lots of different ways that they go about it. So thank you for sharing that, because I truly, that is a huge aspect of Young Living for sure. So getting to where you know, our topic is right now is our gut health. I think right now we can say that it is on the minds of everyone. I keep seeing, you know, the mind gut connection, or especially right now we're doing this video in just March, you know, just during March. And so at the front of the year, typically a lot of people are talking about gut cleanses or colon cleanses or detoxing, whatever that may be. So if you actually look at the Google Trends search terms, a lot of people are, again, searching for best foods for gut health. And that's a 350%. That's high from 2012 to 2018. I couldn't get the most recent stats, but that's a pretty high number just for, you know, in a few years, that jump, that spike. And so studies show improving gut health in patient care basically can help things like heart health, diabetes, IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, obesity, autoimmune disorders, ADHD, depression, anxiety. And I think if we can say the list goes on and on, actually, and I'm sure we'll get to it eventually, but even immunity. So that should be added to the list actually as well. Mm-hmm. And here we go. All disease begins in the gut. And I think this is not a new statement for most of us. We know that, geez, so many different studies, and this is, again, not just us, you know, not just Young Living, but worldwide, so many studies have been done on this specific sentence, I'll say. And whether it be the IBS, because that's been, I think, one of the most common things that people have been diagnosed with recently. I don't know the stats on that, but I do know it's been a lot higher. And a lot more people are actually understanding that if we don't fix the gut, or if we don't even support it, we're going to have issues as we get into our 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. And this is something that I think if we talk about, you know, pharmaceuticals and things like that, this is where a lot of people don't understand that most of the pharmaceuticals are just masking the issues. So when we are taking pills, whether it be over the counter or not, again, I'm an 80-20 rule. A lot of people know that about me, is that I'm not saying don't take pills. I'm just saying take them when you need them, because if you take them, a lot of times, again, they're just masking the issue. And they're just sending signals to the brain to shut off things like, say, pain, or to just make you not feel what maybe your body is actually going through. Whereas when you're using essential oils get right to the root of the cause. And so, you know, I always tell the story about taking peppermint as an example. Well, peppermint has, again, for probably millennia here, for forever, it's been known to help with digestive issues, right? But a lot of times we also use it for things like head tension, right? So headaches, that type of thing. So for me, what I came to the realization, and actually after studying a lot of the different things that we use for different headaches, the medications for headaches, a lot of times, again, just turn that signal off, that pain signal in your brain, to say, okay, actually you might have a headache, which means you have inflammation, but we're not gonna, you're not gonna deal with that right now. Whereas if I say were to put on things like peppermint, where I put it on my temples or the back of my head, a lot of times our headaches actually are a result of maybe we've had something bad to eat, or our digestive system is not working well, so we can't expel those toxins. And so when we actually put on the peppermint is an adaptogen, which means that it goes to the root cause of what's going on in your body, and the most important thing. So if the most important thing is right now your digestive system is off because you just had something to eat that maybe didn't agree with you, that peppermint oil, because it's an adaptogen, it's going to go right to your gut, and it's going to take care of the situation, which means that probably you have to use the washroom to expel those toxins. And once you do, a lot of times the headache is relieved, right? So there's all these linkages in the body. And what I love, again, with these oils is it might go like, hey, I understand you have headache, but that's not the root cause like of what's going on in your body. It's your digestive system. So that's what I love about essential oils, is that they're smarter than us, consciously anyway. And it really gets to the root of the problem. So, and you don't have to deal with any of these side effects. We always laugh, but cry in a way when you see these commercials and it talks about, this, you're trying to resolve something, say from acid reflux or from whatever it may be. And the drug that you're taking is going to cause ulcers, depression, diarrhea, nightmares, headaches, addiction, and anxiety or death. Like, and you're going, well, maybe I should just try, a little drop of peppermint and see where we're at, right? And I laugh at that, but I also don't, because it's a very serious issue. But it is something that, all of us, probably every single day you turn on the TV, you'll see an ad like that. And sometimes, again, if we take our head out of the sand, like that first picture showed, we might see that there might be different solutions. So coming into that, I briefly talked about just with the parts of digesting food, so that a lot of people are having issues with digestion, and that some of the terms that people are Googling has to do with food. Why? Well, because actually food used to contain enzymes and fiber, which, again, no one had issues way back when we weren't spraying glyphosate or anything else on our food, and we weren't microwaving it or weren't heating it, so the enzymes were just completely depleted. So now people are having trouble digesting that food, and it's actually creating some issues with bacterial overgrowth in the small intestines, which then sometimes you see things like rashes, acne, eczema, brain fog, headaches, mood swings, and even actually pain in the joints sometimes, because that's inflammation of the body. So we're not getting enough fiber, and we're not getting enough enzymes. And these are things, like I said, that used to be in our food chain. And so unfortunately, just with how our system is, especially in Canada with our weather, it's not like we're in Italy and we can just have a garden 24/7 and just go and pick up the live food that's in our backyard. Unfortunately, we have, food grown, in other countries most times, and it gets shipped here and then it sits in the supermarket or wherever you're buying it from, and then we bring it to our home. And by the time that whole happens, we've lost a ton of enzymes. And not only that, when we cook the food, then we lose it even more, right? So, and it might even be to zero. And these enzymes, we're going to talk about what they are in a second, but they basically help us break up that food and help us from having digestive issues. So I think, Megan, this is you.
Yeah, the other thing too to also keep in mind is that we live in a society now where our food is just overly processed. So even when you're looking at, you know, a whole grain bread or any of those types of things in the supermarket, it's just processed, and it's not made the way that originally it was intended to be made way back when. So things when they're making bread, they're fast tracking that process. So the food actually isn't being fermented. So most bread is fermented over a period of time before it's baked. And that is the true way that it should be made, but we don't make it that way. So it goes in your body and your body goes, what the heck is this? And then it just kind of just keeps going.
Absolutely.
Like, so the digestive system is important. So it is a complex system, and it starts from your mouth and it goes all the way down to your butt. So it's one long complex system. So think of it as not just the belly and not just sort of your rectum area or where the food's getting smunched up and pooped out. Your body, you need to ingest food in order to take in all of your nutrients. So all your vitamins, all your nutrients, all your enzymes, all of that stuff in order for your body to actually work properly. So throughout the day, your food is going in and it's also helping repair all of your body cells, all that kind of stuff. You need it to grow. So as a child, you need it to grow. Let's see. Sorry, this is my first presentation. Food and drink also must be changed into smaller molecules of nutrients before the blood absorbs them and carries them into the cells throughout the body. So in order to your body to actually absorb, you have to go from like the apple state into all of the different pieces of the apple. So you need to have your carbohydrates, your proteins, your fats, and your vitamins. Okay, so digestion, like I said, it begins in your mouth. So when you're eating, your saliva is actually your first point of where your body breaks down food. So if you are somebody that has dry mouth, there's some people that just naturally have a dry mouth all the time. And one of the key things that I've learned, because I have ulcerative colitis and I have IBS, I have both. So I tend to sometimes also have a dry mouth. I don't know if the two are related or not. However, because of that, I actually ingest a lot of lime. So lime is a very key component to making your body actually produce saliva. So whether it is the zest, the lime oil, essential oil, or the actual juice from the lime, use all components. And that really helps with the digestion of getting the saliva moving in your mouth to help you then process your food later on. Something in, something, I love this one. Something, you put something in and then it comes out. So how the food moves. So the food goes into your body and then your intestines, and when it goes through the stomach and the intestines and all that, your body actually does sort of like this wave-like motion. So it's slowly moving the body and all the particles through, and it's absorbing what it needs to absorb, and then it's slowly breaking down the rest of the stuff in order to move it through the system and then eliminate it out the other end. So that is the goal. But today, a lot of people do not have the simple wave. The wave is not waving properly. So that is where the sort of the symptoms of IBS come in. And then a lot of the autoimmune diseases are also play a part in that. Keeping your system clean. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if our insides were that pretty? I don't think that they are though. Christina, what did you want to say about this slide?
Well, I just wanted to see, if we treated our system clean versus basically a lot of people treat our systems like a garbage dump, right? So, and then that means we feel like a garbage dump,
Yeah.
so, but if we treat our body like this, pristine, and we give it what it needs and we cleanse it, because this is actually part, if you look at the lake and the soil in there and, even the mountains, like everything basically is a filter, whether it be for air or for cleansing of the water. All these
Right.
different things are filters that clean any pollutants out of the air or out of the water. And that's really, again, we want to keep our body as clean as possible. And part of it is doing this.
The cleansing trio, ICP, Essential Zion, Comfort Tone, and Comfort Cleanse. So
Yay!
Comfort Cleanse are, one is US and one is Canada, correct, Christina?
Yes. So, yep. So
Exactly.
the COMFORTONE is in the States and is part of the cleansing trio, as you see there. And then we can buy products like ICP and Comfort Cleanse in Canada. So, yeah. And I think we'll go through each one, but we know that, actually, I'll let you go and you can talk about ICP here.
So ICP, so we friendly call this IC poop. And one of the reasons why we say that is because ICP has a lot of great fiber in this supplement. So the fibers are, we almost call them that they're like little brushes or little scouring pads. So when you look at your colon isn't completely, where's my pen? Your colon isn't completely smooth like this. The tract of your intestines and your colon and basically most of your digestive tract, it's not smooth like this. It has little waves and ridges and sort of hills and valleys in almost every part from the top to the bottom. And so if you don't eat enough fiber, you're not actually being able to clean all of those little grooves out as the food moves through. So ICP helps with that. So you take it with 8 ounces of water, or you can take it in some juice in the morning, and it literally just helps be the little cleaning scouring pad that goes through and helps and moves all of that all the gunk out, so that then you eliminate it out. And so that'll help with absorption. So a lot of people that have autoimmune diseases have malabsorption issues. So I'm one of those people. So I don't absorb nutrients the way that your body's supposed to. So this actually helps with that, because if you're cleaning out the walls, you have now more space in order to absorb into the body. It provides antioxidants, and it also would help with creating a more regular system of you going poop. So you need to poop at least 3 times a day, sometimes 4. If you're not pooping, you need to poop. Am I right, Christina?
Absolutely, yeah. And I just wanted to say what some of the products that are in it, like oat bran, the flax, fennel seeds, so even cellulose, so which again we know is a toxic absorbing fiber. So there's lots of products in here that support the digestive system, including essential oils like rosemary, lemongrass, ginger, fennel, and tarragon. So, and if we look at actually, historic, uses of a lot of these oils, we know ginger, fennel, tarragon, all these things, they're used for what? Digestive support, right?
Exactly.
So that's why it's so awesome that they're in the product of ICP and our other supplements, is because it makes it makes the supplement more potent and also more bioavailable. So, which is awesome, which just means that we absorb it. And a lot of people at the start, when they try ICP, this is one of those products that you might, if you do have things like, as Megan was mentioning, IBS or, digestive issues or sensitivities, we always recommend going slow with this product at the start, because even just to take like a quarter or a half of a teaspoon, yeah, that's right, like and just build up to what. So right now a lot of us when we're doing a cleanse, we'll take up to like 2 full, like heaping rounded teaspoons of this. And but I don't recommend that at the start if you have sensitivities. If you're not sensitive, hey, go for it. You know, you'll find out very quick if you are or not. And you know, it's not a bad thing. You're like, you're not gonna be, you can't, it's not that you can't go to work. Yeah, that's the number one thing I hear with cleanses all the time is, you know, is this something I can go to work? Yes, we all were, you know, we did it for 30 days, some did it for longer. They were all working, you know, or doing presentations, whatever that may be. And it's just something, it's a gentle cleanse is actually what I call it, right? Is doing the cleansing trio. So.
And if you're like me, so I have ulcerative colitis that creates diarrhea most of the time, and it will actually help regulate diarrhea, and it'll help regulate those with constipation. So it works in both ways. So don't think of it as, oh, I don't really go to the bathroom that much, so I'm sure this is just going to give me the poops. It doesn't. It's not quite that bad.
No, that's very true.
Yeah. Benefits of fiber. So we kind of went through some of these things. So fiber helps to absorb and release toxins in your body. And I talked about how it sort of cleans the buildup on the walls of the intestines and the tract all the way through. And ICP has 3 grams of soluble fiber and 1 gram of insoluble fiber. So both of those will help, like I said, sort of even out the wave, which is great. And then we talked about before how to use it. And if I didn't know this part, Christina, I was reading this earlier about the low protein diet and the high protein diet. What is the difference between that? Is it because of the protein content that it acts a little differently?
Yes. And also I think the fats, like protein typically also have higher fats too. So what they're saying is those that tend to eat protein, which most people do, right? Tend to have more caking on the inside of their intestine.
Okay.
So if that's
iron stuff too, right?
Yeah. So if that's the truth, it's gonna even sometimes take even longer though too, right? If you've never done cleanses before or never done anything to do with, you know, supporting your digestive system, you're gonna find that you will have that cake. That's what I call it, which is basically just waste on the inside of your colon. And see how it says to use it 3 times versus a low protein diet might be only once, right? So that just kind of shows you the level of cleansing that you need if you do eat protein or not, right? And protein also, again, is things like cheese, right? It's not just like a lot of, you know, I consider that, you know, so, I mean, cheese is also a fat too, but I wouldn't consider that a protein as well.
So COMFORTONE Comfort Cleanse. So this is a combination of herbs and essential oils, excuse me, that help by eliminating the residues of the colon, enhancing its natural function. It aids in the elimination of waste, residues, and gases from the colon. That's lovely. It also helps with the normal peristalsis. So peristalsis is that sort of that wave that I was talking about before. So making sure that things are smoothly going down. And it supports your liver, your gallbladder, and your stomach. And it contains some things with words I'm not even going to try and pronounce to you. But again, it all is all about the cleaning and the healthy movement from top to bottom in your body. Christina, if you want to talk about those words.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. So I think a lot of people, the reason why, like there's even more, of course, products, and we'll talk about that in a second, but actually I think I have it on the next screen here. So, so there's lots of different herbs. So the reason why it's important to see this, like the bentonite clay or the diatomaceous earth, burdock, fennel, again, garlic, and then the essential oils of rosemary, tarragon, peppermint, ginger, anise, mugwort, you know, and the list goes on here. And what all these all have in common, though, is that they're all individually great and phenomenal for digestive support and digestive cleansing. And like I've seen many people do like drinks with the cayenne pepper, right?
Oh my gosh, there's been so many of those.
Yes. Or there's pills that you can get with diatomaceous earth, or even the bentonite clay. So, or the apopictic, like individually products are sold just with a few of these products. The COMFORTONE or Comfort Cleanse in Canada have all of these, right? So Comfort Cleanse is a phenomenal product. And I really, you know, it's really important as part of the cleansing trio to understand that these products, I'm just going to go back to this slide from before though, but like you said, that wave-like action. So this is actually the product that I noticed the most because you're taking quite a few. Like if you're just starting, again, if you have sensitivities, you can just half the dosage or whatever. But basically, you're building up to 3 capsules. I know sometimes I will say 1 to 2 before breakfast and bedtime. But if you're doing the real full cleanse, like that Gary Young said, like that we did in January, and also that which was based on Gary Young's teachings, you're taking 3, you know, at each time. So what I notice is that though I know you talked about that wave-like action, it's actually what I feel is contraction, right? So it is a wave, but it's actually squeezing, right? Like it's like a squeezing of your intestines. And when you're taking this product, I find that's the thing I start to feel again. Because when I first started Young Living, I didn't understand about the cleanse, and that Gary Young basically wants you to do the cleansing trio for all your like before you do anything. And I understand why. It's because you're not, every product you put in your mouth, whether it be a pharmaceutical, supplement, oil, whatever, you're not, like you mentioned, you're not absorbing that as well.
No.
But once you're doing the cleansing trio, and in particular, some of these products like Comfort Cleanse with ICP and the Essentialzyme together, you really start to feel the wave-like action. And you also notice that you might not need as much of a certain supplement as you did before, or yeah. So these are things that it was a weird feeling, you know, when you start to feel these contractions, but it's really how our body was meant to be though, right? Like our body was meant to feel these type of things and also understand when we're full and all these signals that our brain used to, you know, our gut and our brain connection used to tell us, we've kind of lost, right? So products like this bring back that connection and bring back those intuitive signals.
And they're great for people that don't have, like, if you don't have that natural wave as it is today, this will help you get back to more of this. For somebody like me with the IBS and the IBD, we lovingly call it, we almost call it colon dumps. So literally we could be sitting there and then all of a sudden we will feel food literally dump from down the left side of our body and go boom, which is like, and people look at you like, what was that? But literally that's what happens to us. And so this helps with that. And I'm looking at a lot of the oils in here, as well as the herbs and things like the fennel and the ginger and the anise and the peppermint. Those are all going to be calmative things for your gut as well. So don't fear.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I love that, again, with the essential oils and all of these different products, are like herbs, meaning that, again, it intensifies the absorption rate and the efficacy, which means the efficiency of how it works in your body. So again, a win-win for Young Living.
So probiotics. Probiotics are probably my best friend ever. And prior to going on Young Living products, I had probably been on, I would say probably about 6 or 7 different probiotics. Everything from whatever was in the health food store to whatever was at Costco to whatever my naturopath told me to use or my GI doctor told me to use. And I can honestly say that with every single one of them, I had an issue. Whether it be it upset my stomach, it made me not sleep properly. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to do anyway at the end of the day. So going to the Young Living product, it was night and day. Just a pre-disclaimer on that piece, because I can't talk enough about them. But basically their job is to help you sort of sustain your gut flora. So your gut flora, think of it as kind of like your little garden in your belly that keeps all your bacteria the way that it's supposed to be. So there's not an overgrowth of bacteria, there isn't an undergrowth of bacteria, and it really does help with your immunity. So if you are finding that you have a lot of colds or flus or strep throat, all those kinds of things, you probably have a lot of, or not enough of a good gut flora for sure. So there are people that also eat specific different foods that help with that. But most of the time, probiotic every night before you go to bed is probably really key. So there are, I think the next slide has about Life 9 and yes. So Life 9, so there are 9 strains of sort of active cultures. Sounds kind of weird and gross, but there aren't things moving around in there. It's not gross like that. So there are 9 active strains, and they are extremely good. Now you will see advertising out there that says, oh, this has 50 billion or that has 70 billion. The billions don't really matter if you're not absorbing them. So Life 9 actually is also has essential oil in it. And because of that, you're actually going to absorb more. So literally, I only have to, unless I'm not feeling well, I literally take 1 every single day. That's all I need to take. If I'm not feeling great, I'll take maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on what the situation is at night. And I take them right before I go to bed.
So I just actually, I'll add to that. Actually, Life 9, this one doesn't have the essential oils, interestingly enough, but it improves. Actually, the biggest thing with Life 9 is, you hit the nail on the head, is the strands. So we have 2 super strands in ours, and they're listed on the right-hand side there. And that actually is what really allows for the effectiveness of our Life 9 probiotic. And also it helps improve the colonization up to 10 times, which is so super important. So, because again, it's not having 17 billion active, cultures is well more than enough like for people. But it's really about, how does it colonize? How does it keep growing, right? And so when it keeps growing, that is so much more important, actually, because that's actually what a good gut bacteria we want. We want it to flourish. We want it to grow. And that's why we take it at night as well. So there's nothing to stop it from growing. A lot of people are told to take probiotics in the morning, but in my opinion, based on like lots of research, you really, yes, you can take it in the morning, but you're not going to have the same colonization as you would taking it at night with no other, like you're not going to eat dinner after, right? You're going to just take it right before bed, and then it has basically all night while you're sleeping and before you eat breakfast to help grow. And that's actually what helps balance that gut flora and helps improve the immune response up to 66%. So when people ask me all the time, what is, one of the number one things, we talk about gut health all the time, because 80% of our immune system is in our gut. So, and if just one product can improve your gut, your immune system up to 66%, that's pretty high, right? So this is one of those fantastic products. And I'll let you talk about MIGHTYPRO. This is
so MIGHTYPRO is sort of the kid version of the probiotic, but it also has prebiotics in it. So prebiotics are actually the food of which the probiotics sort of eat off of. So for most adults, you're eating your prebiotics. So things like your yogurt, bananas, things like that, they have the prebiotic part of it. But sometimes you can have some pretty picky eaters as children. So they've created this prebiotic probiotic. So it's a sort of, it comes in a little sachet, and they can put it in there's some juice or water, what have you. And so it helps them. So it would probably help them sort of go from, you know, getting the colds and the things in daycare all the time, and it probably would help reduce that as well.
And I know many people take it ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and if you're a picky eating adult, you can also take MIGHTYPRO.
Absolutely. And it does taste very good. It has a wolfberry punch flavor. And so I forget what those fuzzy things, I forget what they're called, but that's kind of what it tastes like, right? When you put it in your mouth.
So, like the licking stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now we're to digestive enzymes and how do they work? So for me, what we did actually was an experiment, and I'm going to see, I don't know if this video is in here, but we did an experiment when we did this class in person, showing how actually with oatmeal, how the enzymes basically within 5-10 minutes, it breaks up all the different fiber and proteins and all that type of thing, carbs, and it just kind of makes it liquefied. So again, why? Because it helps us absorb the nutrients from breaking down the food. Because if they don't break down the food and we just swallow like pieces like a steak or broccoli, and it's not broken down into these pieces of cholesterol, fatty acids, simple sugars, vitamins, minerals, we're not absorbing that, right? So, and that's actually why a lot of people are having digestive issues, is because they do not have the proper enzymes in the foods anymore that they're eating. So that's where the problem is, and or one of the problems anyway. And the other thing, actually, I just need to point out, though it's not on the screen here, is that if you also have not been breastfed. So when you breastfeed your child, or if you're talking about yourself, if you are breastfed, your mother gifted you beautiful enzymes that are really amazing for your digestive system. But if you are not breastfed, you actually are missing a certain enzyme, and you will forever actually have digestive issues. Again, could be severe to just very mild digestive issues, but you will always have them. So there are actually things that you can do if you were not breastfed, is actually you can actually have unpasteurized, and I know, a lot of people like, but unpasteurized goat milk actually has that. Or again, somehow you can get breast milk. I'll leave that to you. But these are the only two places that I'm aware of that have this specific enzyme, that if you're not breastfed. And on top of that, we need other digestive enzymes for certain things. So, and that's why we have certain products that help break down that food. So digestive enzymes primarily produced in the pancreas and small intestine. So they break down our food into nutrients so that our body can absorb them. And again, if we don't have them, we're not breaking down the food, which means even if we're eating like the most organic, healthy food, we're not absorbing that nutrition. And as Megan mentioned, we become like basically malnutrition. Like we don't have the nutrition we need to sustain a healthy life going forward. So let's see. Oh, I do have it in here. So here's actually a video, and I just wanted to show, it's fairly quick. This is actually not ours, but this is something that one of our friends in Canada did. Karen, actually, here she is here. And I'll let you read this. So you can even see at this point that there's a significant difference in one versus the other.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It gives a whole new meaning to the stick to the ribs kind of thing when your mother told you to eat oatmeal as a kid.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna just stop this. But what a big difference.
And I think that's probably exactly what happened, right? You ate it, just stuck to the insides, and it didn't actually flow anywhere.
No, that's exactly right. So I like to show that video, and I mean, in person, of course, I do the exact same thing. And for me, it really shows what a significant difference on having enzymes in your system or taking them before you eat, and how it breaks down the food. And what happens, so here's the question, what would cause digestive enzymes to stop working correctly in the body? So these are things: pancreatic issues, digestive diseases, inflammation in the digestive tract, or food allergies, aging, low stomach acid, which a lot of people do have, and I think the most important reason is actually chronic stress. A lot of people have a lot of chronic stress. So these are some of the reasons why, because we do have digestive enzymes, but again, most times our body does not have enough, or they're not working properly, and this is unfortunately some of the reasons why. So again, I'm just going to move this so you can see, hopefully. Sorry. Oh, apologize. I'm trying to move the screen so you can see the picture. So our body has two modes, the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, and we call this fight or flight or digest and rest. And when we're in fight or flight mode, which I always say is like 99.9% of the population, especially in North America, maybe not so much in Europe, but we tend to be in fight or flight mode all the time. So when we're in fight or flight mode, our digestive system is not given any, or if it is, it's low priority. So which means that it's not functioning, in its prime, I guess, or how it should be. So when we are in fight or flight mode, we basically have impaired digestive enzyme output. And I'll go back to a second. So the only time we actually, when we're in rest and digest, which is in the parasympathetic response, we're at peace, where that's kind of actually how we're supposed to be all the time, except for maybe, again, fight or flight is, the reason why we have that response is if a lion was coming at us, we would be then in fight or flight mode. Like, okay, we got to do it. We got to run. We got to, all these hormones build up, and we got to get somewhere because our life is in danger. That's actually what fight or flight is. Whereas digest and rest is where we should be. Unfortunately, with the way our lives have changed, especially in North America, we don't actually respect the digest and rest component of our lives. And we tend to always be in that fight or flight mode. And which also means, if you guys have heard me talk about the adrenal response, that means our adrenals are fried, and I would say that majority of the population in North America, that's what it is, unfortunately. So again, chronically, because we have impaired digestive enzyme output, most of us will have digestive issues from a certain level to another. And you'll also notice that probably if you take a plane ride, or if you do something really out of the norm, like out of your regular day, you're probably not going to the washroom as much, because again, you're in fight or flight mode, not because you're on a flight, but because that's what the sympathetic response is. So because your digestive system is not processing things properly, you're not going to the washroom as much. So I think a lot of people find that if they're in stress mode, you're not going to the washroom as much.
Yeah. And the other thing too, Christine, I find that the actual digest and rest, it's not happening until your body gets to the point where it literally is forcing you to digest and rest. And the digest and rest, unfortunately, then becomes, well, now you need to lay down and get better because you pushed yourself way too far, and your body is now saying, We need to have a little nap, and we need to rest, and we need to sort of rebuild and recuperate, because we've gone way beyond what we should have.
Exactly. And I think that, you know, is that really where we want to be? No, right? We want to, like, as an example here is, how do we correct this digestive enzyme deficiency? Well, there are certain diets that do help. There's one called the Whole30, or somewhat of a paleo diet. I'm sure a lot of people have that. And these can help restore digestive function, including also digestive enzymes. So dietary interventions work by reducing inflammation in the body and digestive tract, improving nutrient deficiencies, removing enzyme inhibitors, by taking out things like grains, legumes, and also helping fix gut bacteria. So it's important that diet is always part of the process for healing. And that, you know, I do stress that, like, a lot of people think we just are here to just recommend all these Young Living products and that's it. These are, you know, and they are amazing. And I have absolutely, we've had amazing things happen with the products, but we also have to add the other components of our lifestyle. It's not just taking an enzyme and everything is good. You need to also ensure that maybe you're looking at your dietary things going on, or your chronic stress. So that's the next point here. Managing your chronic stress is vital to just not even your digestive system, but to just your health, your life, your longevity of life. You know, the number one thing I keep, you know, hearing is, like, everyone is stressed out. Well, the reason why is because we're always in fight and flight. We're not supporting the adrenals. We're not supporting the digestive system. And we're also just not making time for ourselves, you know? And if we think about, you know, most of us, again, a lot of times you're at your desk or on the go or in front of the TV, and you're kind of just throwing that food in, not intentionally, just that's how life is. And it's not, you're not sitting down. If you think about Europeans, right? How, you know, when I went to Italy and when my grandparents are there, they do live in a little bit, or a lot different lifestyle, where they actually will take siestas, right? So when we would have lunch was a bigger meal than even dinner. And we would take, like, probably 2 hours after lunch, after eating lunch, and lunch took a good hour, if not longer, to eat. And they would have a siesta, which means, if you don't know what that is, it's basically taking time to sleep, taking time to rest. And they literally did do that. Like, you know, in the town where my grandparents lived, Cervado, and even Casino, which is the bigger town, they shut down. Like, the whole town shut down. You could not go to a store between basically hours of, like, noon to 3 to 4 sometimes, depending on where it is. So, and then they start everything back up around 4 or 5 o'clock. So it's so important, again, to implement these little things. Again, if you have the opportunity to take a nap, maybe not during the week, but maybe on the weekend, it might be a really great thing to help you get back into that digestion rest. So I think the next slide is going to be talking about some of our enzymes. So we actually have quite a few different enzymes, and I listed them at the bottom here. And we'll be talking about some of them in a moment. But essential enzymes is the one that we actually talk about for the cleansing trio. So this is, again, it was designed, so it's a bilayered multi-enzyme complex caplet, I guess. Oh, sorry, I'm ahead of myself here. Specially formulated to improve the balance of digestive health and stimulate overall enzyme activity. So this actually, again, facilitates digestion. It breaks down the food and molecules into smaller pieces. It helps the gut and the pancreas. This is actually, again, these enzymes are naturally produced in the gut and pancreas. So that's, but because of all this stress that we have and the reduced enzyme function or production, this product does help not only reduce pancreatic stress, but it also helps produce, because it is the enzyme. So it helps actually the body with creating these as well. So again, plant enzymes help the absorption and uptake of nutrients and have a lot of other benefits because it has essential oils in them. And I think I have a list. I'm just going to look here for a second I put the list of where the, what essential oils are in it. Now I just have to find it. And I mean, sorry. Okay, yes. So essential enzyme contains tarragon, peppermint, anise, fennel, and clove, which helps improve overall enzyme activity and, of course, supports pancreatic function. And we all know pancreas is also another system, right, or organ that will help us with our balancing our blood sugars as well, right? So it's really key to keep our liver, our pancreas, and our adrenals and digestive system. These are all linked together. And so these products help on so many other ways and levels. And a lot of people really like this chart because we have so many different enzymes. And I'm just going to move the screen here a little bit again. So we have our, here, I'll go like that. We have our allerzyme, which again, it does help waste elimination, irritable bowels, and it helps, it contains enzymes for sugar, starch, fat, and proteins. Detoxine, this is something I take with me on top of my essential enzyme for when I travel, because it really helps with so many different things with removal and cleansings. It helps maintain healthy cholesterol and triglyceride levels, supports the liver, gallbladder, so many different things, and helps boost mineral absorption. So the essential enzyme, which we talked about again, it's a pancreatic support, helps toxic elimination. That's why we actually utilize it for our cleansing trio. So, and again, it's for fats, protein, starch, and sugars. And you'll notice essential enzyme 4 is actually very similar, right? So it helps with, that's why it's called 4, because it helps with all these different enzymes for the fat, protein, fiber, and starch. And of course, we have the enzyme for kids, which is the MIGHTYZYME. And again, depending on the age of your child, I think enzymes, because they call enzymes the spark of life. A lot of people ask me, you know, is my 5-year-old who is having digestive issues, is it okay for them to have the enzymes? And my comment back is actually, well, does your child eat food? Like, you know, yes. Well, then that's fine, because this is literally what that is. You know, there's enzymes in food. This is a plant-based with essential oils supplement that is meant for children that helps support the digestive system. So that's how I feel like kids, if they eat food, then enzymes are in food. So that it's very simple, in my opinion. And if they're having digestive issues, they're probably either not eating the proper foods, is 9 times out of 10, and or because our food is so unfortunately depleted of nutrients, including enzymes, they probably are not getting the amount of enzymes that they absolutely need. So how to use it is at the bottom, but really it's every container of Young Living, it contains the dosage and how much you should be using it. So, and it's always important. Certain ones are more important to take with bigger meals. As an example, like either your essential enzyme or your essential enzyme 4s. These are really great to take before the meal. And it will again help because it's they have these time release capsules, and so it will really help break down those big meals that you have, especially at lunch and dinner, which is what, again, in North America, we traditionally have larger meals at those times. So for me, that's when I take those. When I take allerzyme is typically during my like spring and fall. I think you can see by the name that it does help when during times of seasonal discomfort, right, for allergies. So this is a phenomenal product to take during that time. And if you were again to take the MIGHTYZYMEs, I take MIGHTYZYMEs sometimes too. I mean, we don't have kids, but they taste great, you know, because they're chewable tablets. And it's also really great just to mix up sometimes the enzymes that you are taking. So I don't stay away just because it's a kid's product.
So Christina, for the actual trio, it talks about taking the essential enzyme, but on an everyday sort of basis, which do you choose to take every day?
Essential Zyme 4.
Essential Zyme 4.
Yeah. So I take Essential Zyme 4 every single day, and a lot of people do take. A lot of sorry, Mary, I'm gonna mute you just for a second. A lot of people do take Detoxzyme at night.
Okay.
So, and Detoxzyme will help actually remove extra waste, like if that makes any sense. Like, so those are the two that I actually, if I'm not doing a cleanse, like on an everyday basis, I have Essential Zyme even in my purse because it has a blister pack, and that's what I do. And I will take Detoxzyme at night, especially if I leave the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are your go-to all the time, every day.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, for sure. And again, I use the Allerzyme normally in the spring and fall when my allergies are creating issues. Yeah.
Okay.
I also wanted to say, like, I generally have all 4 enzymes on hand.
Yeah.
And it, you know, just kind of to respond to you, Megan, I vary depending on what's happening through my, like, what I'm eating. And like if I go out for pizza, I'm going to be doing Allerzyme or Detoxzyme that evening. You know, like if I'm eating those foods that my body has problems tolerating, Allerzyme for sure. So I don't limit it just to the allergy seasons. I also use it based on what I'm eating, as well as Detoxzyme.
And I think that's perfect because, like you said, it does help with the Allerzyme Detoxzyme helps that sugar component, and even does Essential Zyme regular. But you're right that your tummy might have issues, and yeah, we might be eating not so well all the time. So it's not going to harm you in any way, and it's only going to improve your digestive system, right? So, and a lot of these, actually, other than Essential Zyme 4 right now, all those other products are available on the NFR USA side. So, I have them on my order probably because I don't take them, certain ones every day. Essential Zyme 4 I do, right? So, and of course, as you can see, Detoxzyme has 180 capsules. So I don't need that, to order that every month. So I have it on my US order every so often. And which is great because, again, I'm like Marilyn, where I always have them in stock. I have all these enzymes in stock all the time because I do have issues with my pancreas and my liver with regards to just, blood sugar regulation as well. So these are critical for me to have to help also with that. So it's important that if I feel like yesterday, as an example, we were in a birthday party, which Megan was at too, and of course there was cake served, and I'm like, well, I'm going to have some. So, and it was just all sugar, really, right? Like carb sugar.
100% sugar.
Yeah, that's right. So, your teeth are aching. That's how much sugar was. Well,
yeah, it was one of those cakes.
Yes, exactly. Which was delicious. But in saying that, I made sure I not only had that before I was going, because I knew, that it would be served, but I also topped up extra when I got home. So Marilyn was right. Like I don't go and have cake every day, right? So I haven't had cake in actually quite a long time. So for me, it was important for me to do that yesterday when I got home, and even today, right? So to just make sure that I understand that, it's part of helping me stay healthy, and so I don't have the impacts of that bad decision with me for days and days and days, which maybe creates other issues like, I'm trying to think, like a yeast infection, right? Like that, these are where things can happen actually.
Yeah.
Certain things can lead to certain things, right? So thanks for sharing that. So this is one of our oils that we use not only during the cleanse, but most of us have with us in our purses. My husband has it in his truck, so this is an oil where some people don't enjoy the smell. That's me, because it has the anise in it, the fennel. I'm not a big fan of that. But if you are, you absolutely love the smell of this. So it's really, up to you guys.
I find this is the one where you're like, It smells awful. And I know there's people out there that like the smell, but I'm like, it smells awful.
Yeah.
But it works.
But
It hasn't grown on you, Megan?
No, I've been using it for so many years now, and I'm still like this. Oh, no, no, no. Just put it on. Just put it on. I can't do it.
It's going to grow. I don't know. So many people say that they start out hating it, but then it grows on them. They get used to it.
This one is still not grown on me after 7 years. However, it is one of my foundational oils I keep in my purse, right? So it does relieve for digestive discomfort. A lot of people will put it clockwise because that's how, if we talk about that wave-like motion, that's how our digestive system goes, in a clockwise motion. And it also can be used if you have the Plus or Vitality line, which is just literally the same oil, just with a white label that has a plus, or the Vitality is for the States. You can actually ingest this oil in capsule form. Again, because of the different tastes, I don't necessarily recommend it in the water like I would say lime or lemon plus oils. But for this oil, you can put it in a capsule, you can put it on the belly. For kids, a lot of times we will dilute it with a carrier oil like coconut oil. We can put it on our feet. If you're having issues and you have a scent-free environment or you don't like the smell, like my husband, he'll put it on his feet, put his socks on, and you don't smell it, right? And especially if your shoes on, you don't smell it at all. So you can inhale it, but again, that's something we'll leave that up to you.
No.
That's right, yeah.
This is, so for those that have IBS, IBD issues, this probably is one of the key oils that I actually started with back at the beginning. This and Copiaba were the two that I used all the time. And I was literally taking capsules full of it. And then also rubbing on my belly. So, if you have those issues, this would be the first one I would go to for sure. Start.
And though I don't have Copiaba as a slide, that is probably the second, right? And again, taking the Vitality or Plus line of the Copiaba internally, it is one of the highest anti-inflammatory oils. So that's another one to add to your regimen too. And I think actually when we put oils on our feet, we actually try to put it near the digestive system. So I'm sure you can see based on this picture, it's in the lower half and you can kind of see the waves. So you kind of see the spleen, the pancreas, the kidney, the small intestine, the descending colon. So if you are having issues with your digestive system, you try to keep your oils when you're applying it to the feet in these areas. And of course, you can use the VitaFlex technique, which is, or what we call now, I guess, roll and release. And these are just a great area. You don't have to put it in this area for the oil to work, but I always like to show you what is the most effective way is trying to keep that in that area and trying to either rub the area or again, using the VitaFlex technique. And we again talked about this, but I just wanted to reiterate that 80% of our immune system starts in our gut. And that's not, something that I, came out with. This is something that's been very well tested now. It's out even in CBC News, all the different news places, they are sharing this type of information. And it's important to just understand that our gut and immune system are 100% linked, and to the point of 80%, And so when we're trying to help our immune systems, that's why we tagged on the immune system to this gut challenge is because, and why do we also do the gut challenge in January? Well, why? Because there's so many people that have immune system issues that, they get sick in January or February. So why not actually make sure that you do a cleanse or do a cleansing trio in the front part of the year when the cold and flu and viruses and everything is going around, when you need your immune system at its best, right? So again, your gut is the first line of defense between us and anything else we may swallow, I guess. So beneficial gut bacteria reinforces, I don't say that right. So the lining of our intestines, which helps prevent pathogens, toxins, and allergens from entering our bodies. And so the good gut bacteria basically teaches our immune system that allergens and toxins are tolerable and which ones we need to get rid of. So you'll notice again, just like Marilyn was saying, she'll use certain enzymes to help or support our gut, but it will help with all the different allergens or all the different toxins and help them discern which are good and which need to be removed right away. So all gut bacteria strains have specific codes written to their complexity. So simply meaning that they have a specific mechanism of action. And so individual strains set up shop in specific parts of our intestinal tracts with specific roles of targeting certain proteins, fats, sugars, and nutrients for digestion. So again, coming back to this, so beneficial bacteria, so we call good gut bacteria, metabolize hormones which can help offset hormonal imbalances. And I think we've also know that, again, gut health and hormonal imbalances are, again, linked as well. I mean, gut health and brain health, gut health and heart health, gut health and so many different things are linked. So even bone and breast health are tied to the conditions of our guts. And so there's so many different indicators that something's going on deep within our intestinal tracts. Again, as I mentioned, yeast overgrowth can happen when there's an imbalance, chronic fatigue, mood disorders, UTIs, which is urinary tract infections, skin and nail issues, chronic sinus discomfort, and the list goes on. Honestly, this is just a very high level list. And so what is important is that we keep our gut health and our immune system just as supported as possible. And one of the ways we support them, again, all the things that we talked about, but this is one of my favorite products for supporting the digestive system. And of course, it slows the aging process because it has antioxidants in it. So we like to show antioxidants are the two ways of showing it here are basically whether we rust from the inside out, or again, if you look at the top there, that barbed wire, it's completely rusted on top. If you have, we call that oxidative stress, just like the brown part of the apple. But if we take antioxidants or something that is high in antioxidants, we actually find that we don't rust. So again, the picture of the barbed wire without the rust on it, or the apple that's still showing without the brown. So that what we call is antioxidants. And what is really high in antioxidants is our Ningxia Red. So Ningxia Red is a juice. It's not a wine. A lot of people think it's a wine. And though we might drink it like a wine sometimes in a glass, because we drink so much of it, it's really just something that I consider like a powerhouse nutrient-packed juice. It has 18 amino acids, 21 trace minerals, 6 essential fatty acids, and all different vitamins, and so many minerals, honestly. This promotes wellness for energy. It helps with eye health. It helps the brain. So again, anything associated with memory or brain issues. It does help maintain normal blood pressure and blood sugar levels. And it's very low on the glycemic index. So it was designed, again, to be had by people that are diabetics. It supports normal liver, kidney, digestive, sexual, and immune functions. It helps prevent against oxidative stress, which is what I just showed you. And it also, again, promotes emotional well-being. So this is just a very short list of what it can do for us. But I think it's so important that people understand that everyone should be taking an antioxidant juice. It helps from your pets to your kids to your teens to you as an adult to your 94-year-old grandmother or grandfather. It's for everyone, and it will help your immune system and digestive system so much. They say one shot, which is 60 mLs of Ningxia Red, is like consuming 45,000 basically raw almonds, or 200 oranges, or 260 tomatoes. So I don't know who of anyone can eat that many, or 190 apples. I mean, I have trouble myself just consuming 2 apples a day, never mind, or even 1, never mind 190. So it's important to know how nutrient dense and packed one shot, which is basically 60 mLs, milliliters of Ningxia Red is worth. So we added one more product because I thought this was just really important before we close here, is alkaline. So this product is phenomenal, again, for the digestive system. And a lot of people who suffer from digestive system always talk about having heartburn or indigestion. And this is why we tack this on, because we think though you're going to do the cleanse and, you know, add products like the oil, certain oils, or Ningxia Red, whatever that may be, it's important to also address things that are happening that are creating issues for you, maybe like the heartburn or indigestion. So again, alkaline is precisely balanced mineral complex formulated to help neutralize acidity and maintain desired pH levels in the stomach. And it does have lemon and lime, of course, with organic whole lemon powder. And of course, like I said, it helps with the relief of heartburn, indigestion, upset, or sour stomachs associated with excess stomach acid, and also acid indigestion. So this is actually really fantastic. And I think it's a product that even in times of stress, we have acid imbalances in our body. And it's so important to actually take this. I take this all the time. I don't take it every single day, but I definitely, if I'm in high stress or if I'm not feeling well, or I don't really have heartburn too much, but I have had once. It was phenomenal to take that. So, yeah. How about you?
I had heartburn once.
I did. I never have had. It was just whatever food I had and whatever was going on.
Something too spicy.
Yeah, but sometimes people actually. I mean, people have heartburn almost every day. I know.
Yeah,
so that's
and people with gut problems tend to have a lot of either acid reflux issues or sometimes it's even to the point where they can only lay on their left side. They can't actually lay on their right side, because at night, if you lay on the wrong side, the juices are flowing in the wrong direction, and it actually makes it worse at night. But I just wanted to show everybody too, if you have a chance, pick some of these up. You can get them on Amazon, but it'll also show your pH level, and you can literally take one of these and you pee on it or you suck on it, one or the other, whichever way you choose to do it. And then you can measure to see what your pH level is, because you want to be somewhere between 6 and 7 is kind of the ideal number. And then you'll know whether or not you need to start taking extra of the alkaline in your diet.
And I would definitely say, if possible, to get closer to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think peeing on it is one of the better ways to really
in the morning.
Exactly. Like when we're doing a trade show or when we're doing like an event, we will just put it in our mouth, of course, because that's the easiest. But it really, like, if someone has come in and they just had a coffee, well, that's going to really change the result, right? So, but you can do it in your mouth as well if that's, the only thing you can do. So, perfect. Well, I think most of you guys that will be watching this are already sprucers, but we just want to make sure that if you're not aware, that we have so many different resources for you guys. And if you are watching this and you're unsure of if you don't have a membership, or if you're just thinking about it and you want to get these products at least 24% off and up to, I guess, 49% off, you're going to want to pick a good option, which is being a wholesale member. You can enjoy the benefits of having that wholesale pricing. And of course, we have so many other different exclusive things for being a wholesale member with Young Living. And there's other options. If you want a better option, we can try getting you started with a premium starter kit. So a lot of people might start with the oils kit with a certain diffuser. A lot of people like the desert mist, which is awesome. And of course, it gets you some of those oils that we talked about and some samples of our Ningxia Red that we talked about as well. And some other little goodies like our Thieves hand sanitizer. Or we actually have our Ningxia Red kit, which I think is one of my most favorite kits because it is a phenomenal nutrient-packed juice, and that gives you 2 bottles plus your sachets. So I think there's 30 sachets in there, which is about 60 ounces. So that can last quite a long time for someone. And it does give you an essential oil, black spruce, and a few other things, as you can see. Or if you're looking for more like the green cleaning option, personal care products, that's when we have our Thieves starter kit. So there's lots of different kits that you can choose from. And we do think this is a really great option to start. But one of the best options, and I think I just show the cost breakdown briefly of just one of our kits. Normally it retails for over $400, I'll just say, and we get these kits at $199.75, and it's just such a phenomenal deal. That's why most people start here. And not only that, they start with getting extra free products. And you're now asking me, what are these free products? Why would I want more? I'm already getting 50% off. Well, the reason why is because when we start using these products, we want to get them not only at the best price, so starting off at 24%, but we actually get even more through when we're buying monthly. We can start changing out, you know, different products that we have, right? So if we're using a laundry soap that maybe is not the best for our kids or for us, we might be looking at switching to our Thieves laundry soap. So reducing kind of what we're buying toxic in a different, you know, I don't want to say any stores, but you know, whether it be online or in person at the grocery store, at the retail stores, and transferring for things that you actually would just buy. So whether it be shampoos, cleaners, like skincare, so many different things. Young Living has it all. As I told you before, we have probably over 1,000 different products, and they all are essential oil infused and have just your, not only is it cost effective to go this way, but it's also really just protecting your health. So we have a program called Essential Awards, and it's really like kind of your birthday every month. You get what you want your way every single month, and you can call it your essentials box, or some people just call it like just their happy birthday box every month, because even though you're the one ordering, it's still after, I don't know if you guys can say, but after 6-7 years, I'm still excited, even though I know what's coming. So I get excited because I want to just make sure I have the products that make me feel so great. So when you sign up for Essential Rewards with your kit, again, you can save money, you can change your order every month. You're basically shopping similar to like our Costco at wholesale pricing, but you're getting something in return. Whereas Costco, you're just getting that wholesale pricing. With Essential Rewards with Young Living, you're actually getting back starting from 10, and it goes all the way up to 25% back in product points that you can get free products, which is phenomenal. And of course, you can cancel at any time. So there's no obligation to stay on it forever, though most of us do, because we absolutely love all the different products that we can choose from. So this is literally your best option. So you can customize your order with Essential Rewards, buying whether, it doesn't matter what starter kit you want or whatever products you want. We always recommend adding like things like either the cleaner or Super B or a different supplement, maybe the cleansing trio or the essential enzymes that we talked today. And with that, you typically will get a product for free. So every month it will change. So I'm not going to say what the product is this month, but there's always something exciting that you get as a bonus for ordering under Essential Rewards. And like I said, you can cancel at any time. So it's just a phenomenal way of ordering your health products online or in person if you're near Experience Center. We have one in Brampton, and of course we have one in Calgary. Then there's some in the States, all over. And for me, this is the number one way that our team gets set up. So with our team, we have our exclusive resources. So we have online website, which is completely jam-packed with information. It's also mobile friendly, so that's a bonus. And you also get our trail guide or other resources, booklets that we have. We have our private Facebook group that we get you linked into. We do events like this, which we're doing right now. And we also do lots of other educational posts and help answer your questions. And then we, of course, have our public website that we have a blog that we have a lot of DIY recipes. We have our oil infused wellness online masterclass that we can link you into. And then, of course, we have our monthly newsletter and so many other events like this or in person that we offer for our tribe. And really the biggest benefit, I think, with being with us is not only all the educational resources, but just the part of being a community of like-minded people that really have a common goal of just supporting you in your health journey and really just helping guide with information and with just caring about who you are as a person and what your needs are. And I think that's where that's what sets us apart, is we want to make sure that your needs are met and that we are providing that education for you. So, and that's why we're doing things like this, right? Helping right now with your digestive support and your immune system support. So as you can see, there's so many other resources. I do recommend oiltestimonials.com. That's a free website that you can go to. We have our desk references or animal desk references, which are books that you can buy at Life Science Publishing. And Young Living has a blog. There's so many other, again, in paper resources and online resources that you just can't, when you know, everywhere you turn, there is support for your Young Living journey, and also support in the bigger sense of just helping you figure out how to make an order, or you know, where to find the books that you can learn and empower yourself to make better decisions for you and your family. So, and like I said here, this may or may not be for you, but if you're curious about sharing Young Living products with others, there's always ways that you can earn extra $60, $100, even up to $10,000 or $15,000 a month, whatever that may be. And again, $15,000 doesn't come like tomorrow. This is after many, many years of working. But the truth is that you can decide if you want to share with your friends and family. And there's so many different ways of doing that, whether it be online, in person. And it's really just about caring about them enough and about yourself, and just sharing your journey with Young Living and the product. So we always have to show the income disclosure statement. So this is the income potential. And on the call today, we have our stars, we have executives, we have silvers, and all the way up to diamonds. So we have people that are earning these things on a monthly basis. And so, you know, their potential is really endless. And it's just something that we all probably started out using the product. And as Megan mentioned, and even Marilyn, you know, the different things that have helped them along the way. And it's really just, it was just in our gut, or we just really care about our friends and family enough to start sharing with them the phenomenal products and the lifestyle of Young Living. So it's, again, just something just to keep in mind, that even just sharing with one person can make a huge difference in their lives and in yours as well. And so, again, the digestive system is one of the most important systems in your body, and taking care of it is critical to your health and wellness. And we really just hope, and I think I'm done here. Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this presentation, and really just enjoyed all the different products and testimonials that you heard from people who are really just, I don't even want to say suffering. They had suffered for so many years, and now there's, you know, the light. I don't know how else to say it like that, but definitely
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
That's right. Exactly. That's right. And that's the truth. And because this is something that I think majority of the people do suffer from at some point on that level. Like, there's different levels, of course, but it's so important to know what the tools you have. So you do have a toolkit. It's phenomenal. And just, you know, take it out when you need it, use it, and you will really see a difference in your health and wellness. So I'm going to stop the share here, and let's see if we can get to our speakers here. But do you guys have any questions before we close, or any comments?
Yes.
Okay.
One comment, and some questions too. So those pH strips you can get at health food stores too, if that's easier for anybody. And then also, I don't know if you know, Christina, do you know the difference between COMFORTONE and Comfort Cleanse?
I was told that there was no difference, but then I was told there was. So I've used both product, and for me, there's no difference in how it actually
The effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'd have to go line by line, and I have actually before. I think there's a few little things different, but I think overall it's like 99% the same.
Okay. And then Megan, I've got a question for you. So someone who suffers from digestive issues, how was the cleansing for you in January? And how much ICP did you start with, and did you build it up? And what about the COMFORTONE and that kind of stuff? Did you have to be gentle with those as well?
I did not do the cleanse.
Okay.
There's that answer. I honestly, I did not do the cleanse because I was already not feeling great. I have been struggling to try and start sulfurzyme. So I was already trying that route, and I didn't want to add more to the mix at that point in time.
Yeah, no, it's tough. You got to do one step at a time, right?
Exactly. So I was trying to introduce one. I'm trying to do slowly progressing, adding things, because I do find that if I add certain supplements too quickly, it will set me off down a road that it just takes too long to come back from. So I do a little bit. So I did the multigreen. So I'm on the multigreens every day. I'm doing my olive essentials. I'm doing my Illuminize every single day. And then sulfurzyme was the next one, because Christina's like, this one is amazing. You need to do this one. If any of them, you need to do this one. So I have been slowly adding the sulfurzyme into mine. But hopefully the next time we do the cleanse, I'm going to be right in there with everybody else. So I'll be able to give everybody sort of my 2 cents on that problem.
Yeah, no, because it would be, it not only would it be good to hear your experience going through it, but also your experience afterwards, because I've had some people with digestive issues do the cleanse, and each time they get a little bit better.
Right.
So when you're ready, of course, because you don't, it is one step at a time.
Yeah.
But and I am going to do it again in April, Christina. So I don't know if anybody else is interested, but I'm already getting ready to place my orders, because this year I'm going to do it 4 times a year, which is going to be the first time ever. And I really want to see what it's like after the end of the year, doing it the way you're supposed to, or as often as is recommended. As opposed to once or twice a year that I've been doing for the last I don't know how many years. So
would you say that 4 times a year is sort of like the normal of what you should be doing?
Well, I don't know if it's the normal, but they recommend that you cleanse once every 3 months.
Okay.
And so, but most of us, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like to cleanse, but I always do it once a year. And a couple of times I've been successful in doing it twice a year, but I've never done it, what they recommend, which is once every 3 months, so every season. And so I'm going to try that this year. So I'm already getting ready to place my order for March to get 2 cleansing trios and some extra essential zymes. So.
And I think, so I can probably answer a little bit, because I know I was working with Monia, who also has IBS, right? And so she did have to go slow at the start.
Yeah, I remember that.
And but in saying that, she was able to actually go faster than what I recommended. So because I think she's been doing small things here and there, right? That she noticed that she could increase it faster than probably a brand new person, right? That hasn't been taking peppermint or, whatever, right? Like all the different enzymes, because she does take the enzymes. So not to speak for her here, but I think it's important to know that to go slow at the start, and your body, I mean, you guys know that your body will tell you when to increase, or if it's too much. And it's also like, am I eating healthier, right? During a cleanse, it's ideal to eat as healthy as possible, and also
drink lots of water.
Drink a ton of water, especially oil infused water, and also to eat less meat, right? Like that is one of the keys, or less protein, like less cheese as well, right? And less sugar, because you're going to feel better faster. And that's why a lot of people, I think, also had to extend. I'm not sure if you saw that, but in January, a lot of people extended another week. And I bet you one of the reasons is they were doing it slower. Yeah, but also their diet, exactly, right? So
they weren't really getting going right at the first week, right?
That's right, yeah. So they didn't see probably, so for them, I think actually, and maybe we should post about this, that it's important to say, okay, we're going to start again in April. So maybe we should say that today or tomorrow, right? Like that we're going to do another cleanse. We're going to present it 4 times a year. And whether you do it, that's up to you, but
yeah,
right, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Because I mean, even if there's only 5 of us.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. But you can share your experiences and testimonial, and those 5 people or whoever that may be will feel much better. And you know what? You're going to absorb 2 or 3 times or 10 times as much as everyone else, right? So all the other stuff that we're taking, whether it be Tourette or whatever, right?
Yeah. But that's good though. I don't remember. Was there anything about modifying your diet for less meat and sugar for best results?
I think I did have that in one of the posts, but it was, as a suggestion, right?
I missed it. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I should go back and confirm that. But I was asked that question. I do know someone asked me it. So whether it be I answered on that question or it was a post, it definitely was addressed. But in saying that, I know a lot of people have trouble with modifying their diet. So I think I kind of left it very high level.
Yeah, and I usually tell people that you don't need to modify your diet.
Right.
And I wasn't really aware of that. So I actually think it's post-worthy.
Okay.
And just say, we could just say, your choice. You don't really have to, but if you want to have faster, better results, you can, reduce your protein and sugars.
Yeah.
Because I think that's important for me, because I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum of someone like Megan or Manya, and so the meat and the sugar does impact me.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Especially the sugar. Actually. Yeah. So
barring calling Manya up right now, because we've all got her number.
Yeah.
Have you do you know her results at all from the cleanse?
Well, she lost weight, I think 15 pounds or something.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 to 15. Yeah. Yeah.
How come I never get that?
Yeah. But it was from the poop. Yeah.
She was full of poop.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was 10 or 15, but it was definitely over 10. I don't remember the final number.
And so was she processing better than normal after the cleanse?
Yeah. And actually, in saying that, I think she's having not issues again, but she's definitely I think because she's just like Megan, has had chronic issues for a very long time, right? And she has gone on many times, so I have no trouble saying this, that she could only go to the washroom once a month sometimes, right? So going from that to now every day. Yeah, right? So thinking about that, having that for 30 years or plus of your life, and then going now, she is going daily, which is great. And of course, with the cleanse, even more so, right? So I think right now her body's still, because now she's been off for a month, is now trying to figure out what to do again, right? So she has been, I don't want to say struggling, but she's definitely having to watch her enzyme intake, right? And Tourette and stuff like that to make sure that it's a little bit higher than regular.
So to be clear, can't wait till Manya watches this. She's not pooping enough, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Maybe I'll give her a call and talk to her. Because when you've got digestive issues, you got to take it one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if it might not be a bad idea for her to do it again in April.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because it's about not reminding your system how to work again.
That's right.
It's been so long that she had a reminder in January, but now it's like, okay, you know, I forget now all of a sudden again. And so maybe for somebody like that, doing it 4 times a year would make a huge difference.
Yes, absolutely. I think so.
Yeah.
I agree.
If she's up for it. If she's up for it. I just wonder what her experience would be after 12 months.
Yeah. So I think, well, I'll talk with her about that. I mean, you can too with her, but I think what we can do just as a team is just talk about that. We're going to do this 4 times this year. And those that want to join, that's great. And those that don't, that's fine too. You know, like it will be up to the individual person. But even for myself, I mean, my issue is actually not going, like I'm pretty regular with the 3 to 4 times a day, but mine is still nutrient absorption. I still don't have as good of nutrient absorption. So it's not even sometimes about I have a bad digestive system or not. It's that because I do so much testing, right, with minerals and nutrients, I know I'm not absorbing to the rate I need to be. So even for someone like myself, that's where my focus is, right? Like that I need to focus on that part of it. Right.
And
so,
that's the cleanse, right?
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So
yeah. So yeah.
It's not taking more of some, like it's actually doing the cleanse again, and
Yeah.
probably again and again. Right.
Yeah. Are you thinking about doing it again in April?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll post about that, and I think we'll continue on. Shelley, did you have any specific questions at all, or? Sorry.
My dog is barking. Not a good.
No problem.
Telling my kids to be quiet.
Oh, that's perfect.
Your dog wants to do the cleanse.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I see the time, so we've expanded our presentation as per usual. But anyways, I'm super grateful for those that came on and also those that will be watching this later. If you do have any questions, just post after we release the video and we will do our very best answer. And with the COMFORTONE Comfort Cleanse, I will get an official answer for that, just so we know going forward. But again, both because I had both during the cleanse. So I didn't notice the difference, right? And I also did look at the ingredients list. However, our labeling laws are different. That's why I'm saying, like, it did look a little different. It's also could be our labeling laws, right? So versus Canada versus the state. So, but I will definitely look into that, Marilyn, and get an official. Perfect. All right. Well, hope you guys have a wonderful evening and hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you,
Bye.
Megan.
Thank you.
Bye.